Racing to the 2025 Kentucky Derby, and let's get an update for Monday, March the 3rd. The second of two separation Saturdays is now over. Saw some exciting races. We'll get an update on Grandy, a recent winner for Todd Pletcher in an allowance race. Disruptor breaking his maiden. Valentinian breaking a maiden over the weekend at Tampa Bay. And speed figures for the weekend stakes races, including a 108 for journalism in the San Felipe. Now let's take a look, comparing a couple of different speed figures. Beyer speed figures, which basically adjusts for the racetrack and the distance and the beaten links. They gave journalism a 108. Sovereignty picked up a 98. And Flood Zone picked up a 98. Now, these three races were at three different tracks, and they're saying based on the track surfaces and the distances of these races, journalism's was better. Performance doesn't mean moving forward that it's better than Sovereignty or Flood Zone. Now, Timeform US is a different scale. They adjust for pace, and they also adjust for turns. If they lose ground on the turn, they do a little bit more calculation of the track variance. So they're usually a little bit more accurate at the stakes level. Sovereignty gets a 114 and journalism gets a 124. That is the highest of the year, the 124 for journalism. So both speed figures, the Beyer speed figures and Timeform US, saw journalism as the better performance on Saturday. Now, Brad Free offered some historical perspective from the Daily Racing Form. The 108 Beyer earned by San Felipe winner. The last horse to win the San Felipe with a figure that high was California Chrome in 2014. He earned a 108 Beyer speed figure, and then he won the Kentucky Derby, the Santa Anita Derby, and the Preakness Stakes later on that spring. So a big number from journalism. Fountain of Youth, a 98 for Sovereignty. Kind of a similar running style for both Sovereignty and journalism, coming from off the pace. And then, of course, Flood Zone, more of a wire-to-wire. Got a little bit of a challenge. He picked up a 98 on kind of a slow racetrack at the Gotham Stakes in New York. Now, Flood Zone, 17-1 that day on Saturday. Private Purchase, here he is post-race after the Gotham. You know, seems to be a well-built horse, very proportioned, long legs, so I like the look on him. Flood Zone, we'll see if they want one more race before the Kentucky Derby, but Flood Zone picking up that 98 Beyer in the Gotham. He's now got 3 lifetime starts, 2 wins, and a win at Gulfstream and a win at Aqueduct for Flood Zone. Now, Sovereignty picked up that win and the Fountain of Youth Stakes. Now, he defeated a solid field. Burnham Square was the favorite. A lot of people liked a couple of horses in that race, but Sovereignty ended up going off to the victory. Of course, he won the Street Scent Stakes. Here he is in the walking ring. He looked good before the race. Godolphin Blue and Bill Mott possibly heading for the Florida Derby for his next race after winning this one, his first race in 2025. Now, the Beyer speed figure for Sovereignty was a 98, and that was based on the track surface, a 1.16 miles Saturday at Gulfstream Park. Now, journalism, overall, a 108, and then Sovereignty with that 98. Now, journalism, when you look, picked up that 37.5 points on Saturday. The sire is Curlin, definitely a distance horse. And when you look overall, that 108 Beyer, Barnes got a 105 for running second, and journalism winning the San Felipe. He's got 47.5 points after winning that race. Now, the winner got 37.5 points because of the late scratch, small field. He did chase the lone speed. Looking at him post-race, it seemed like he came out of the race well, didn't seem winded, and picked up a little bit of a dirt coming from behind, but journalism picking up that victory. Now, the Kentucky Derby leaderboard posts the separation Saturday, number 2. Coal Battle was 70 points, Citizen Bull was 60, Sovereignty was 60 points, Flood Zone with 50, and then you've got journalism with 47.5. Now, those 5 horses, they pretty much are in the Kentucky Derby starting gate. Most of them plan on running one more prep. The only one that I'm not sure about running another prep is Coal Battle. They may train up to the Kentucky Derby. Then you've got Getaway Car. He's got 36, Built with 35. Looks like he's going to go to the Louisiana Derby. Mattakit Road, the runner-up effort in the Rebel Stakes. We'll see where he goes next. And of course, 25 points for Sand Devil. He ran second in the Gotham. He is going to point for the Wood Memorial. Now, Drexel Hill and the Queen's MG, couple of stakes winners on Saturday on the Oaks Trail. A Beyer of 79 for Drexel Hill, and then for the Queen's MG an 80. Queen's MG had to fend off a little bit more of a challenge from Lacara, who was sharp. Drexel Hill kind of came from off the pace. I think both of them are maybe a little bit more upside, but right now I'd probably rank Quiet Side, Mohima, and Good Cheer better than the two recent winners. Now, the Oaks leaderboard, Quiet Side was 68, Drexel Hill with 57, Lacara with 51.75. Then you've got Good Cheer, the Queen's MG, Tenma, 5G, and Mohima rounding out the top 8. Remember, the Oaks starting gate can only handle a field of 14. Now, a maiden winner on Saturday at Gulfstream Park was Disruptor. This one trained by Todd Pletcher, second time out. Was bet down to the favorite in the first race, picked up the win Saturday. We'll see if they want to go for a race like the Wood Memorial, maybe the Lexington, try to point to the Preakness. Did not race as a 2-year-old Disruptor with 2 races, but the familiar silks of Todd Pletcher and Rapoli Stables. Now, Grand was another winner for Rapoli Stables. This one at earlier in the week at Gulfstream Park, second race of his career. They gave him a little bit of time off after that debut victory. He went 9 furlongs, passed that test. He's another one by Curlin, same sire as Journalism. And of course, Curlin himself, a big-time winner of some big graded stakes races, and also ran in the Kentucky Derby, ran in the Preakness, and other strong races. Todd Pletcher training both Grande and also the winner, Disruptor. Now, another horse that won was Valentinian. Valentinian picking up that win on Saturday. That was at Tampa Bay, first time out. Really looked nice down the lane. Another one trained by Todd Pletcher, and he seems to have some good maiden and allowance winners. He can point to some stakes races. He's behind on them, maybe not Kentucky Derby horses, but Lexington, Preakness, and the Belmont Stakes at 1.25 miles at Saratoga this year fits into the Todd Pletcher program. Now, the points race is coming up. We've got the Tampa Bay Derby, the Virginia Derby, the Virginia Oaks, that's March 15th. Then we got the Jeff Ruby Stakes and the Louisiana Derby on March 22nd. Florida Derby on March 29th. Free racing picks for the Tampa Bay Derby card. Top 3 selections coming this Saturday. Sign up below in the description. You also get picks throughout the year like Florida Derby, Kentucky Derby, and other big racing days. Triple Crown Prospectus, we write about the 3-year-olds every Monday, and join over 500 other readers, 2,000 words, all the way through the Belmont Stakes for the Triple Crown Prospectus. Comment, like, share, and subscribe. What did you think of Journalism, the 108 Beyer Speed Figure, Sovereignty in 98? Give me your thoughts in the comments. And remember, D. Wayne Lucas always says, people have opinions, horses have the facts.